Now we will see the topic called Biot-Savart law. Okay, who was the first scientist to discover that current carrying wire produces magnetic field around it? It is Oersted. Okay, Oersted was the first scientist to discover that whenever there is some current in a wire, it produces magnetic field around it. Okay, what is the direction of the magnetic field? It is given by Ampere's law. Okay, Ampere's right hand rule we say. What does it say? Hold the current carrying wire in your right hand. Okay, with thumb in the direction of the current. Curling right hand fingers will give you the direction of the magnetic field. Means magnetic field will be concentric circles like this. Okay, so whenever there is some current carrying wire here, it produces magnetic fields like this. Magnetic lines of force will be concentric circles everywhere like this. Now, what is the magnetic field strength at a distance r from the wire? Okay, that we can find out using this Biot-Savart law. Okay, now you take some wire, some random wire carrying a current I. In that, consider a small element of length dl. Okay, what is the magnetic field strength at a point P which is at a distance smaller from that small segment of length dl? Okay, the dl is known as current element. Okay, right? Now, the dl bar, okay, is written as magnitude of that element length into the direction of the dl bar will be in the direction of the current. Okay, now what is the magnetic field strength at a distance r from a small current element dl? Okay, means, okay, what factors do you think that affect the magnetic field strength? First of all, the small amount of magnetic field dB will be proportional to. On what factors does the dB depend upon? Means, first of all, it is obvious that more current, more will be the magnetic field, less current, less will be the magnetic field. So, dB is proportional to the current I in the wire. Okay, and dB is found to be proportional to dB is found to be inversely proportional to square of the distance between that element and the wire. That is, dB is proportional to 1 by r square. That is, magnetic field is inverse square law. Okay, and dB is found to be proportional to the element size also. The bigger the element, the more will be the magnetic field. Smaller the element, lesser will be the magnetic field. That is, dB is found to be proportional to dl also. Okay, and next one is dB is found to be proportional to sine of the angle between dl bar and this r bar. Okay, sine of the angle theta between dl bar and r bar, that is proportional to sine theta also. These are the factors. It is an what you call experimentally observed one. Okay, just like Coulomb's law, right? dB is found to be proportional to current I, proportional to dl, proportional to sine theta, inversely proportional to 1 by r square. So I can write dB as equal to, or dB is proportional to, right, I dl sine theta by r square. dB is proportional to ideal sine theta by r square. If I remove this proportionality sign and put a constant mu naught by 4 pi, we write mu naught by 4 pi ideal sine theta by r square. Right? This is Biot-Savart law. This is known as Biot-Savart law, an experimentally observed and stated one. Okay, now in vector notation, it will be like this. In vector notation, okay, dB bar equal to, okay, mu naught I by 4 pi, right, dl bar cross r bar, dl bar cross r bar by r cube, right? Okay, dl bar cross r bar means, okay, it is nothing but dl r sine theta. One r and one r gets cancelled. We'll get ideal sine theta by r square only, as we have seen earlier. This is in vector notation, the small amount of magnetic field due to a small element of length dl. Now, what is the total magnetic field due to the entire wire? Okay, due to the entire wire means, okay, we have to integrate it. Now, why, what you call, the integration has been left out. Okay, means integration depends on the shape of the wire. Different wires of different shapes will have different magnetic fields. Okay, right, now we have to see one by one. This is the most general case, okay, due to a small element. So what is the total magnetic field? Total magnetic field is B equal to, right, integral dB, we write, that is, right, integral mu naught by 4 pi IDL sin theta by r square, right. Okay, now for different segments of wire, the magnetic field we have to keep on calculating. Okay, that we'll see case by one, case 1, case 2, like that. Okay, now the first case is current due to a wire of length L. Okay, right, and I want the magnetic field at a point P which is at a perpendicular distance small r. Okay, earlier r was the actual distance between the current element and the point P. Okay, here it is the perpendicular distance between the wire and that point P. Okay, now if the geometry is, suppose say this end is making an angle theta 1. Okay, this end is making an angle theta 2 here, or let this angle be alpha 1, let this angle be alpha 2. What is the magnetic field at this point P due to this wire whose length is L and whose ends are making angles theta 1 and theta 2? Okay, right, now these angles also alpha 1 and alpha 2. Now I'll consider a small element of length dl. Okay, right, this distance, let us call it as x. Now I'll apply what you call Biot-Savart law here, IDL sin theta by r square. I'll integrate it from theta 1 to theta 2. I'll get something like this, dB. Okay, B equal to, okay, B equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Okay, that integration part will give us this final result. B equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Okay, right, now this is the general case, most general case this one is. Now from this we can take out some specific cases. What happens if the wire is of infinite length? If the wire is of infinite length, what will happen means B due to a thin long straight infinite wire we call. Okay, B due to a thin long infinite wire, infinite long wire. Okay, when I am extending, suppose say this point is A, this point is B. Okay, when I am extending this point A downwards like this, what will happen to this angle theta 1? Theta 1 keeps on decreasing as the segment keeps on getting extended here. Okay, theta 1 keeps on decreasing. If I go to minus infinity, okay, theta 1 can be taken as approximately 0. Similarly, when you keep on increasing this point B like this, what will happen to this angle? This theta 2 angle will be increasing. Okay, if I take this point B to plus infinity, right, theta 2 will become 180 degrees. So the approximation is for an infinite wire, okay, theta 1 is approximately 0 and theta 2 can be taken as, right, 180 degrees or pi. Theta 2 can be taken as 180 degrees or pi. Now substitute these values. Cos theta 1 0, cos 0 is 1, cos 180 minus 1, 1 minus of minus 1, it will be 2. Okay, so B equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. B equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. Mu naught is permeability of free space. Okay, mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 Henry per meter. Okay, so mu naught by 2 pi means it will be 2 into mu naught by 2 pi value equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 Henry per meter we can write. Okay, into I by r. Okay, so this is the magnetic field due to an infinitely long thin wire at a distance, at a perpendicular distance r from it. So a straight infinitely long wire need not be infinitely long, okay, right? If the point under consideration is very close to the wire, or the distance between the point and our wire is very small compared to the length of the wire, that wire can be taken as an infinitely long wire, okay, right? Now a thin long straight wire is carrying a current of 2 amperes. Okay, what is the magnetic field at a distance of 5 centimeters or 10 centimeters? A straightforward question if it comes, right? We can take it this way. Right? I equal to, let us say in a wire I equal to 2 amperes. I want the magnetic field at a distance of 10 centimeters. Okay, so B equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r. Mu naught by 2 pi is nothing but 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 into current in the wire is 2 amperes, okay, by r. R is 10 centimeters, means if you convert it into SI inverse, 10 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters. Okay, so this minus 2 goes up and becomes plus 2. Okay, this 4 by 10 is nothing but 0.4. 0.4 into 10 to the power minus 5 or 4 into 10 to the power minus 6, okay, Tesla. That will be the amount of magnetic field. It's a straightforward simple substitution formula, okay, B due to an infinitely long wire. Now the other questions, how do they come? Other questions, how do they come means it will be like this. Okay, now a square loop, B due to a square loop of side L carrying a current I like this. Okay, carrying a current I like this. Now side is L. Okay, what is the magnetic field at the center O of that square loop? This is the case, second case. Okay, now here what is happening, again we have to, this is a wire of finite length. Wire of finite length means the formula is B equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into, right, cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2 is the general formula. Okay, now you see the geometry here. You see the geometry here. Okay, from the center, I'll draw two lines like this. This total length of the segment is L, means, okay, this perpendicular distance will become L by 2. Okay, now this angle, as this is a square, 90 degrees, this angle will be 45 degrees. Okay, this angle will be, it is this angle we have to take 90 plus 45, it will be 135 degrees. This angle will be 135 degrees. Okay, now first of all, first check whether the fields due to all four segments, if they are in the same direction, they'll get added up. If they are in opposite directions, they get reduced. Okay, now field due to this segment is, means how do we find the direction of the magnetic field? Hold the current carrying wire in your right hand with thumb in the direction of the current. Curling right hand, 4 fingers will give you direction of the field. Means because of this current element here, okay, the magnetic field will be pointing into the board here. Okay, so current due to one segment, I'll call it as B1. Okay, and all this, as this point P is symmetric, okay, for all the all four segments, whatever is the magnetic field due to one segment will be the magnetic field due to the remaining 3 segments also. Okay, means if I simply calculate 1 and I can multiply it by 4, okay, provided if they are all in the same direction. Now what is the direction of the magnetic field due to this second segment? Due to the second segment, hold the current carrying wire in your right hand like this. Okay, curling right hand fingers are pointing into the board here also, means B1 and B2 are also in the same direction. Similarly, hold the current wire like this. Okay, here also the magnetic lines of force are pointing into the board in this case, and magnetic lines of force are pointing into the board in this case also. Means the magnetic field due to all these 4 parts are pointing into the board only, so simply they get added up. Okay, so the total magnetic field B can be simply written as 4 into B1. Now what is B1? Okay, what is B1 means? we have to use that formula mu naught I by 4 pi r into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So B1 will be okay. So B1 will be mu naught I by 4 pi r. Perpendicular distance is the total length of the segment is L. So here the side is L. So the perpendicular distance will be L by 2. So I'll put r equal to L by 2 here. Cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. What is cos theta 1? Cos 45 degrees here. Cos 45 degrees minus cos, the second angle is 135 degrees, cos 135 degrees here. Okay, so this is mu naught I by 2 pi L into cos 45, as we all know, 1 by root 2 minus cos 135. Cos 135 is cos 90 plus 45 you can write, minus sin 45 it will be, that is minus of minus will be plus, another 1 by root 2 factor will come. Okay, 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 is nothing but, right, root 2. Okay, so root 2 means mu naught I by, right, 2 pi L into root 2, right, means here we will get only root 2 pi L. Okay, this is B1. Okay, so what is the total magnetic field? Total magnetic field B equal to 4B1. So B equal to, we can write 4B1 means multiply it with 4, you will get 2 root 2 mu naught I by pi L. Okay, 2 root 2 mu naught I by pi L. Okay, right, this is the magnetic field at the center of a square loop of side L. Magnetic field at the center of a square loop of side L. Now in this case, if you observe, I have given the direction of the magnetic field due to individual segments, because there are only, it is only a square, it is having only 4 sides. I could show you easily, okay, by pointing my fingers for each and every segment of the loop. Okay, here like this, pointing into the board, okay, because it's a square, only 4 sides are there. Suppose in the exam a polygon comes, a regular polygon having suppose 50 sides. Every time we cannot keep on doing and finding the directions, we don't have to do that. Okay, simply if the wire is a straight line, if the current is in a straight wire like this, okay, put your thumb in the direction of the current, curling right hand 4 fingers will give you direction of the magnetic field. If that is in the form of a loop, okay, reverse the case here. Now put the direction of, put your right hand 4 fingers in the direction of current. Suppose the current is flowing like this. Okay, curl your right hand 4 fingers in the direction of the current. Thumb will give you direction of the magnetic field. Okay, now it need not depend, it does not depend on the shape of the loop. Whatever it is, whenever some current is in a loop, let it be a square or a circle or anything like this, any random loop it can be. Okay, if the direction of current, curl your right hand 4 fingers in the direction of the current, thumb will give you direction of the magnetic field like this. Okay, so here we have taken the current direction to be like this. So close your right hand 4 fingers in the direction of current, thumb will give you direction of the magnetic field, means in this case magnetic field pointing into the board. Okay, so whenever wire current is in a straight wire, okay, thumb should be in the direction of the current, 4 fingers will give you direction of magnetic field. If the current is in any loop, closed loop, okay, right, 4 fingers should be in the direction of current, thumb will give you direction of the magnetic field. Okay, irrespective of the shape of the loop, remember. Okay, this is one. Next one, any variations can be, any number of variations can be observed here in this case. Next one, a question may come like this. And what have we seen? Okay, dB equal to, Biot-Savart law says what? Mu naught I by 4 pi, okay, mu naught I dl sin theta by r square. This is Biot-Savart law. Remember, dB depends on I, dB depends on dl, dB depends on 1 by r square, dB depends on sin theta also. If theta equal to 0 or 180 degrees, right, magnetic field will be 0. Means if a wire is like this, if a current carrying wire is like this, at this point what is the magnetic field? At this point, right, theta will become 0, so magnetic field will not be here. Okay, there won't be any magnetic field. Similarly, even at this point also, theta will be 180 degrees in this case, right? Here also magnetic field will be 0. Means if a wire is like this, magnetic field can exist everywhere except in the direction of the current or in opposite direction of the current. Okay, at this point and at this point, theta becomes 0 or 180 degrees, magnetic field will be 0. Magnetic field will be found only on the sides of the wire. Okay, right? Now you take another segment. This time consider only this much. Okay, of side L, what is the magnetic field at the point O? Okay, there is some current I like this, somehow it is going somewhere. Okay, right, some current element this way. What is the magnetic field at this? That means we have seen current due to a square loop is, okay, what we have got in the earlier figure, 2 root 2 mu naught I by 4, what you call pi L. Okay, there are only 2 segments here, so whatever answer you got in the earlier problem, you simply divide it by 2, you will get the magnetic field due to this, because there are only 2 segments here, there are no 4 segments. Okay, so this is an obvious problem. And another one, a popular one, which keeps on coming in exams mostly at all levels, okay, is B due to a regular hexagon. B due to a regular hexagon like this of side L and carrying a current I in this direction. Okay, this is a regular hexagon, all sides are equal. What is the magnetic field at the center O of that regular hexagon we want? Okay, this is a very popular question. Okay, right, how many segments are there? There are 6 segments here. Okay, and what will be the direction of the magnetic field? Right, simply close your right hand 4 fingers in the direction of the current, thumb will give you direction of the magnetic field. Means in this case, for this direction of current, clockwise direction of current, magnetic field will be pointing into the board. If the direction of current is given in anti-clockwise, hold your right hand, close your right hand 4 fingers like this, magnetic field will be pointing out of the board. Okay, right, now again the geometry aspect is, it will be, now what is this angle? Okay, this is a regular hexagon, so this angle, this becomes an equilateral triangle, so this side will be 60 degrees and we are interested in this angle, this is theta 1. Okay, theta 2 will be, right, 60 plus 60 degrees, it will be, or 90 plus 30, it will be 120 degrees. It will be 120 degrees. And what is this distance? It is an equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle median, it is nothing but root 3 L by 2. Okay, so perpendicular distance L equal to, perpendicular distance will be, right, the distance R will be equal to root 3 L by 2. This side is L, this side is L by 2. So perpendicular distance R between this point O and our wire is root 3, root of L square minus L by 2 whole square. We will get root 3 L by 2. Okay, so this angle is 60 degrees, this angle is 120 degrees. See, in such problems it is only important to find the angles and the perpendicular distance, that is sufficient. Okay, remaining thing is simply normal, what you call mathematics only. Okay, so here so B1, B due to one wire is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi R. Perpendicular distance is root 3 L by 2, root 3 L by 2 into cos 60 degrees minus cos 120 degrees. Cos 60 minus cos 120. Okay, this will be mu naught I by, okay, 2 root 3 pi L into cos 60. Cos 60 is half Okay, minus cos 120 is nothing but minus sin 30 minus half, minus, it will be plus half, that is 1. So due to one segment, it is mu naught I by 2 root 3 pi L. Okay, thus this B1 equal to, what is the total magnetic field due to all the 6 segments means we have to simply multiply with 6. Okay, we'll get the total field due to entire hexagon at its center. So B equal to, it is like this, B equal to 6 into B1, that is 6 into mu naught I by 2 root 3 pi L. Okay, that is 3, that is nothing but root 3 mu naught I by pi L will come. This is the magnetic field at the center of a regular hexagon which is of length L at side L and carrying a current I. Okay, root 3 mu naught I by pi L. Like this, shape of the wire can be anything. First find out whether the point is symmetric from all the segments or not. Okay, what is angle made by the two edges? Okay, with the point under consideration. Okay, and perpendicular distance. If you know the angles here, okay, and the perpendicular distance, your problem is solved. Okay, right? Now this is due to straight wires. Okay, now what happens if due to a straight wire we got B equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r, I told you. Okay, now if I bend this wire into a circle, then what will happen? Okay, that we'll see. B due to a circular current loop we call. Okay, B due to a circular current loop, it will be like this. Okay, B due to circular current loop. B due to circular current loop. Consider a circular loop. Okay, consider a circular loop like this in which the current is flowing like this in this direction. Okay, the radius of the loop is r, O is the center. What is the magnetic field on the axis of the circular current loop at a point P which is at a distance x from the center? Okay, so what do? We'll consider a small element of length here, element of length dl. We'll take this distance as r. We'll calculate the field due to, field due to the small element, then integrate it for the entire circle. We'll get B due to this circular current loop at a point P which is a distance x from the center O. Okay, the result what we get in the derivation. See, we are preparing for entrance examinations. Okay, so I'll try to avoid lengthy derivations as much as possible. We'll be concentrating only on the end result and the applications of that end result mostly. Okay, right? B equal to B at a point P which is a distance x will come like this: mu naught I by 2 into r square by r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2 we get. R square by r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2 we get. Okay, this distance is x, this is r, radius is r. So what is this hypotenuse? Root of r square plus x square. Okay, so the term will come here, mu naught I by 2 into r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2. This is the expression for the magnetic field. Now what are the special cases which we'll be seeing? Okay, the special cases are like this. Okay, what is the magnetic field at the center O? Okay, at the center O, what is the magnetic field means, that is case 1 we take. Case 1, at the center O means what changes will occur? X will become 0. When X becomes 0, it is r square to the power 3 by 2. That is nothing but r cube. R square by r cube is nothing but 1 by r. So B is equal to mu naught I by 2r it will be. This is the expression for the magnetic field due to a circular current loop of radius r and carrying a current I. This is the magnetic field which will be present at the center of any circular current loop, okay, of radius r. This is an important result again. B due to a straight wire, infinitely long straight wire, mu naught I by, right, 2 pi r we have seen. That's one important result which we have to keep in mind, because these things will keep on coming in various topics also. Okay, B equal to, B due to a circular current loop, B equal to, even modern physics also, right, electron will be revolving around the nucleus in a circular orbit. What is the magnetic field at the center of the nucleus, at the center of the orbit? We'll be using same formula there also. Okay, classical formula, B equal to mu naught I by 2r. Now what is the magnetic field at a far off point? That is second case. Second case, magnetic field at a very far off point means what? When X is very large compared to, the radius. That is, in this case, right, field at a very far off point, we can write like this. When X very much greater than smaller. Okay, radius of the wire is very small compared to the distance under consideration. In that case, what will happen here? R square can be neglected compared to x square. It will be x square to the power 3 by 2, nothing but x cube. So B will be equal to mu naught I by 2 into r square by, right, x cube. R square by x cube. Okay, now I'll multiply and divide with pi. I'll multiply and divide with pi. What do we get? It will be mu naught I by 2 pi into pi r square. Pi r square is nothing but the area of the loop. Okay, pi r square is area of the circular loop. So I'll take that area of circular loop as pi r square. So I'll write this as A by x cube it will be. Okay, I into A, I units are amperes, A units are meter square, ampere meter square units we have seen in the last video. It gives rise to what is known as dipole moment. Okay, right, so I can take this I into A as dipole moment, mu naught by 2 pi, dipole moment I'll take it as capital M by x cube. Okay, mu naught by 2 pi, right, into capital M by x cube, where capital M equal to dipole moment of that current loop, current in the loop multiplied by area of the loop. Okay, now this formula I have derived in general specifically for a circle, but of course pi r square is area of a circle we know, but irrespective of the shape of the loop, okay, let it be a circular loop or a square loop or a rectangular loop, okay, any what you call loop, wire loop, okay, can be expected to behave like a dipole and will have some dipole moment. What is the dipole moment? Current in the loop multiplied by its area will give you dipole moment of that current loop. Okay, so here, though we have derived this specifically for a circle, it is in general true for, right, any shape. Okay, loop can be of any shape. So dipole moment capital M equal to I into A, we write mu naught by 2 pi into M by x cube. So two important points which we have to keep in mind here is the magnetic field, okay, due to a magnetic dipole. Magnetic field due to a magnetic dipole is proportional to its dipole moment and is proportional to 1 by x cube. Why this is important means same things will come in electrostatics also. We will have an electric dipole, two equal and opposite charges separated by some distance. The electric field due to the electric dipole is also proportional to the dipole moment and inversely proportional to, right, cube of the distance. Okay, that is, there also it is proportional to 1 by x cube and proportional to dipole moment. Magnetic dipole also, in that case it is very similar to electric dipole. Okay, dipole B is proportional to the dipole moment and B is proportional to 1 by x cube. Okay, these two things should be kept in mind. Same things will be useful in electrostatics also when we are talking about electric dipoles. Okay, This is B at the, say, what you call, at a far off point, means at a far off point, right, at all far off points, these current loops are behaving like dipoles, means we can visualize this as a dipole or a small bar magnet. We can visualize this as a small bar magnet. Magnetic field direction will be close your right hand, 4 fingers in the direction of current. Thumb will give you direction of the magnetic field, means magnetic lines of force will be like this. How can we expect a magnetic line of force in this direction? Only when we have the south pole here and north pole here, means this current loop is equivalent to a small bar magnet with its south pole here and north pole here, such that its dipolement is from south pole to north pole, means current loops are identical to bar magnets, we can say. Okay, or otherwise, right, bar magnets are from these current loops only actually. Okay, so whenever we have some current in a loop, we can treat it as a small bar magnet, remember, with its south pole here, north pole here, depending on the direction of the current. If the current is like this, dipolement will be in this way. If the current is in opposite direction, dipolement will be in this direction. So a current loop is equivalent to a magnetic dipole and will possess some dipolement. What is its dipolement? Dipolement capital M equal to current in the loop multiplied by area of the loop, irrespective of the shape of the loop, remember, irrespective of the shape of the loop. Okay, now next one, another one also, some questions keep on coming. What is the magnetic field on the axis at a distance, okay, right, equal to its radius? Means what? It is like this. Okay, there is one circular loop, here. Okay, radius of the circular loop is r. Okay, at a point equal to r, what is the magnetic field? At the center O, it is, we have seen, B equal to mu naught I by 2r we got. Okay, remember this as a checkpoint, whether you are remembering it correctly or not. Okay, next one, we want to find out what is the magnetic field at the point P, which is also at a distance r equal to its radius. Okay, simply, so in the formula, B equal to mu naught I by 2 into r square by r square plus x square. Here x is also equal to r only, so r square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. This is the magnetic field. Simplify this, what do you get? If you simplify, okay, B equal to r square, 2r square to the power 3 by 2, that is nothing but mu naught I into r square by 2 into, right, 2 to the power 3 by 2 into, right, r cube. So this is one r gets, only one r remains, mu naught I by, okay, one r will remain here, and 2 into 2 to the power 3 by 2. 2 to the power 3 by 2 is nothing but 2 root 2, right? That is nothing but 4 root 2. 4 root 2 Rp. Okay, in some objective exams at +2 level, what is the ratio of this field to the field at the center? Okay, means field at the center is mu naught I by 2r. Okay, field at this point is mu naught I by 4 root 2r. So you take out the ratio. Okay, it is like that. This is a magnetic field due to a circular current loop, which becomes very useful once we go into spectroscopy topics. Okay, an electron revolving around the nucleus is also equivalent to current loop only, and hence it produces magnetic field. Wherever magnetic field is produced, there should be a dipole, and every dipole will have a dipole moment. Okay, so origin of dipole moment, origin of magnetism is because of these dipole moments only. Okay, all magnetic materials, okay, right, will be having some atomic dipoles. Those atomic dipole moments are because of the motion of the electrons around the nucleus. Okay, now I'll stop this lecture here for today. We'll continue the next topic in the next video. Thank you. One more case is magnetic field is the centroid of an equilateral triangle. Okay, this is a current carrying equilateral triangle. What is an equilateral triangle? A triangle which is having all three sides equal. Okay, right? Consider an equilateral triangle of side L carrying a current I like this. So in a loop, current is flowing in a loop. So what will be the direction of the magnetic field? It will be pointing out of the board here. Now the question is, we are interested in what is the magnetic field at the centroid. What is a centroid? Centroid is, right, centroid is something like this, one which cuts the medians in the ratio 1:2, which cuts the medians in the ratio 1:2. Okay, all three medians will be cut in the ratio 1:2 like this. This point is known as centroid G. Okay, what is the magnetic field at the centroid of an equilateral triangle? Okay, I told you, you have to consider three segments here. Okay, all three, the point is symmetric about all the three segments. So first find out field due to any one segment, then multiply it with 3, you will get the final answer. Okay, so what are the geometrical factors here? Okay, in an equilateral triangle, this angle is 60 degrees, so this angle will be 30 degrees here. This angle also will be 30 degrees here. Okay, the length of what you call the median in an equilateral triangle is √3 L by 2. Okay, that √3 total length from here to here is √3 L by 2. That centroid cuts it in the ratio 1:2. Means the what you call the distance of the centroid from this wire will be, right, 1/3 of √3 L by 2. 1/3 of √3 L by 2. Same will be the case. Okay, distance between this segment and this point, distance between this segment and this point also will be 1/3 of √3 L by 2. Okay, so angles are known. Okay, perpendicular distance is known. Use the formula B equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r, right, into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Theta 1 is known, theta 2 is known. Okay, r value, perpendicular distance is also known, so you can get the answer. You can try this, okay, as a practice question. Okay, this is one interesting question we can expect, right? And about so consider a circular loop, okay, carrying a current I. Radius is r. So in this circular current loop, the magnetic field, because current I is in this direction, magnetic field I will be magnetic field B will be pointing out of the board. Okay, what is the magnetic field at the center row of the loop? Just now we have seen B equal to mu naught I by 2r. We got mu naught I by 2r. Okay, there will be many questions coming from this. Many variations can be shown here. Okay, now what is the magnetic field due to a current segment, current wire like this? Okay, this radius is small r, current is going like this. What is the magnetic field at this point O? I told you, right, when the point is in the direction of the current, magnetic field, that sin theta factor in Biot-Savart law, right, there won't be any magnetic field because of this segment. Similarly, here for this segment also, theta will become 180 degrees, means magnetic field will be, right, magnetic field will be 0 because of, magnetic field will be 0 because of this wire and this wire. Whatever field that comes at O is because of the semicircular segment only. Okay, now here there is one shortcut formula for this. We can write B due to any segment as mu naught I by 4 pi r into phi, we can write. Okay, mu naught I by 4 pi r into phi. Phi is the angle subtended by the arc at its radius of curvature. Okay, that is, phi should be in radians only. Okay, if it is a full circle, if it is a full circle, angle subtended by the circle at the center is 2 pi. So if you substitute b equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into angle subtended by the circle at its center is 2 pi in radians, 2 pi radians. So pi and pi gets cancelled. It will be, right, b equal to mu naught I by, right, we get 2r. That's what we have got here. Okay, mu naught I by 2r. So this mu naught I by 4 pi into phi is the angle subtended by the arc at this center. Okay, in radians you should put. Okay, not in degrees. So what is about this semicircular wire? The angle subtended by the semicircular arc at its center will be pi only. So what is the magnetic field at the center of this wire? Okay, b equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into, right, it will be pi only. Okay, pi and pi gets cancelled. So what remains is b equal to mu naught I by 4r. This is the magnetic field, right, due to a semicircular wire. It can, that arc can be of what you call, arc can subtend any angle. Depending on the angle, we'll get various cases. Okay, you can consider different cases this way. Okay, now a segment is like this. Okay, current I is flowing like this. What is okay, what is the magnetic field in this configuration? What is the magnetic field at the center? O. Okay, now there are 3 segments of wires. Okay, because of this line, angle here will be 0 degrees. So this will not produce any magnetic field here. Similarly, for this wire, okay, magnetic field theta is 180 degrees, sine 180 factor, there won't be any field because of this wire also. Whatever is the magnetic field that is present at the center O, it is only due to this arc. Okay, what is the angle subtended by this arc at its center? It will, at the center means it is 90 degrees. 90 degrees means pi by 2 in radians you have to write. Okay, so what is the magnetic field? B equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into pi by 2, you write. Okay, into phi. Phi is pi by 2. So it is nothing but pi and pi gets cancelled, right? The B is equal to B mu naught I by 8 pi r. Mu naught I by 8 pi r. Sorry, 8r. Okay, 8r, mu naught I by 8r will be the answer for this. It can be of any shape. Okay, right? Anything like this. It can come, segment can go like this also. Okay, current I. What is the magnetic field at this point? There won't be any field because of this segment. There won't be any field here because of this segment. Okay, field is only due to this. Okay, this is a semicircular part. Okay, what is angle subtended will be pi, and this is 1/4 of a circle. Okay, so angle subtended will be pi by 2. So total will be 3 pi by 2. Substitute that, you will get the answer. Okay, these are all possible variations, okay, in this aspect.